I don't know what that is. Come a little wide there, please.
Coming out.
Got a mushroom coral to the right.
Yeah, there's one with its tentacles out, and then there's one at 3 o'clock with its tentacles withdrawn.
All right.
We
Does anyone
collected one
remember the genus
yesterday.
Yes.
Something Gorgia.
We could,
Oh, it's hetero.
we could
Used to
probably
be called
get this guy here.
Anthomastus.
Yeah.
Or heteropolypus now.
That's it.
Heteropolypus.
We can probably get this guy kind of a little bit to the right and bottom of lasers. No.
This, do you think? Is that what you're saying, Jessica?
Yeah, this piece right here with the right
Yeah.
laser on it now.
I think that's a good choice.
Roger. Okay.
Kira's asking for a zoom in on that material if possible.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll once we settle, Kira will get a big close-up.
Yeah, are you on a full wide there, Jonathan, please?
Can I get a zoom on Argus?
Yeah, sure.
Slightly obscured.
All right, while we settle out, go ahead, Jonathan, and push in full on Herc, please.
Coming in. Wow.
This tube-like.
Oh,
gotta
there's
be
a
right.
tube.
Interesting.
It's fossil.
I'm going to bump one up and then I'll retract.
We have someone in the science chat, Crispin Little, who suggests that this strange dark material could be fossils projecting from an exhumed concretion.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty incredible.
I wonder if any human eyes have ever seen this before.
That's
Unlikely.
remarkable. I mean, if it is.
Yeah, so let's hope we can get a couple of pieces of this off. We'll be
Roger
able to
that.
figure out what it is. It's suspiciously like bone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Gonna come a little wide there, please, Jonathan?
Got a question from Kai Moore direct to us on at the Peanut Gallery, and hi Kai, and we still love the poster that you made for my lab a few years ago about the ruby sea dragon.
Go ahead and push on in there, please.
And
Come
the
in.
ruby sea dragon is restricted, as far as we know, only to a little corner of Western Australia, so we're not likely to see one today. But if you're watching, you're seeing a very strange sight of these white carbonate with these black rib-like projections coming across. And Jessica's just gently broken one, and we're going to try and sample that.
Crispin Little suggesting that they do look, in fact, like rib bones, perhaps a fossil whale.
Yeah.
And that means Greg will be looking to see if they have traces of
Ooh.
bone-eating worms in there.
Yeah.
That'd be incredible. Oh, looks like one.
Smaller.
Wow.
Actually, before I pick this up, do you want to pull in there, Jonathan?
Yeah.
So you can see the texture at least of it.
You got some thumbs up from Kai.
Wow.
Cool. All right, come a little wide there, please.
Yeah.
A little wider. Great, thank you.
Where will we put these?
Between the cracks.
Yeah, good choice.
Looks like there's two pieces that are loose.
Nice. So cool.
Twofer.
2 for 1.
Yeah, Crispin Little's noting that fossil whales are very common in Miocene rocks around the coast of Santa Cruz.
Oh.
It's actually not
And we're
this
being
guy.
asked to also log a video highlight at this point. That's something thinking of. Very interesting.
Absolutely.
Think those are small enough for a slurp?
No, I
No?
don't want to. I don't think so.
It's going to be a delicate problem is going to be getting them over to starboard.
Yeah.
Doug Sweeney has asked if there are smaller bones alongside, and we haven't noticed any yet, but we haven't really explored the area very thoroughly.
Would it be worth getting one of those 3D image captures of this?
So we can get them both at once.
Yeah, good idea. We might have enough already with what we've done, but we'll try another flyover.
Yeah, another
Pinch grip.
pirouette or two.
Hey, there you go.
Probably capture enough images.
Oh, well done.
Good job.
It's a tricky size.
Wow.
Pinch grip for,
Oof.
Yeah,
all right,
Talent.
full wide, please.
coming out.
Starboard bio and same partition business.
Yes, please. Forward.
Yeah, if we could actually go for the forward one, that's a little different.
Sure.
Possible.
Yeah, thanks, Crispin. We'll do another close flyover of
Alright,
this
Jake,
to
go ahead.
really survey it
We
properly.
might just keep bumping it out since we have that sponge in there.
Yeah. Just make sure it's not.
There are those little ridges to the, on the two push core round things. And I'm wondering if that could be the central spine.
Right.
And if we looked at it from kind of the opposite view that we have now, you might actually see that one of those is a vertebrae. If it is.
Beautiful. Awesome, Jess. Just for the data loggers, this is sample NA124-107, and it's being stored in the
gotcha.
starboard
Back in.
bio box, section A.
Really cool.
You guys want the second piece over there too?
Oh, yes, please. Thanks, Jessica.
Wow.
I had to do another pinch grip. All right, go ahead, Jonathan.
Coming in.
Push on in. Great.
Just to the left of the manipulator, there's a projection that looks very much like a vertebral process projecting out of the rock.
Go a little more. Good job.
Nicely done.
Wow.
Amazing.
Full wide, please.
Coming out.
Thanks, Jake.
Too bad Hercules doesn't have like a roof rack. We could just put this on.
All right, Jake, go ahead.
Stick this on our front porch.
That get a other pesky rock. I don't think that would improve our view
That's
very
good
much.
there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Great.
Really
Amazing.
cool.
These are great too because they sink right in there. No floating out.
Yeah, no floating, please.
If this is, in fact, a fossil whale, does anybody have an idea of what era this might be from?
We got a note in the chat from Kristen Little saying that these whales are common in Miocene rocks around the coast of Santa Cruz, so maybe this might be
That's
the
weird.
same time period.
Jake, do you think we can get a
Could
little
we,
down on Argus?
when you're ready, get a zoom on the projections on the left?
Definitely. Let's stow this guy real quick. Projections on the left.
Yeah.
The ones kind of up
Oh, they
further
can't.
along.
Yeah. If we could just scan up along that track of those projections.
Sure thing. We can do a flyby too.
Yeah, I definitely want to do a flyby, and then we'll move on. But
Roger that. You want to push on in there a bit, please, Jonathan?
yeah, so there's definitely things projecting out of the rock.
Yeah.
These ones here.
Yep.
That does look like a vertebral projection. And then if we just go forward while zoomed in.
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
You want me to pick up and kind of drive slowly forward?
Sorry, I just meant to pan up with the zoom.
Oh, sorry, Raj.
Yeah.
My bad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well,
Look at
that,
that.
Wow.
that's
That's a
great.
cool shot.
Oh yeah, there's
That's
that one
gotta
right at the
be.
bottom. Totally looks.
Whoa.
Yeah. I'll come in a little bit and we get it all on frame.
Yeah.
You guys want one with lasers off?
Yes, please. And if you could just pan back down.
Roger that.
Sorry, I have a little bit more zoom there.
Okay.
There you go. That's full zoom.
Raj. You want to come a little wide there and then we'll look down a little bit?
I'm getting some great screen grabs.
Perfect.
So if this was some sort of cetacean, it would be kind of facing away from us.
Go ahead and push on in there
correct.
again, Jonathan. Very cool.
What a special thing to come across.
That's incredible.
So this is technically an ancient whale fall, would that be?
Yeah. Ancient whale fall.
Okay, so it would be great if we could do a flyover in
Sure
a
thing.
couple of different directions, and we'll
Yeah, we could
We'll
pirouette
do a model
around
of
it
it.
and do a flyover. And
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting some
Roger that.
requests to see other parts
Come full wide there,
around
Jonathan.
this structure.
Yeah.
And
Are-
Crispin's also suggested by collecting some of the rock that's enclosing these bones, you should be able to date the rock within the microfossils, with microfossils.
Great idea.
All right, push in there a bit, please, Jonathan.
Our still camera is also getting some high-res photos every 30 seconds. So
Oh,
A
beautiful.
little more there, Jonathan, past the push core. Great.
And so Jess, we have a question for you too.
Yeah.
Not that you have a lot of free time to think about other things, but Kai Moore, who's 12 years old, wants to know how you got your job and can she come work with you?
Yeah, of course you can. Anyone can come out to see. And how I got my job, I actually started with the Nautilus as an intern, much like Jake actually, so you can hear Jake's story too. Go ahead and push on in there a bit more, Jonathan. That's great, actually, yeah.
Very cool.
Started as an intern and been coming back out ever since and love being out at sea. So that's kind of how I got started, was actually through the Nautilus. That was about 6 years ago now. How about this? I'm going to turn a little bit so we can see a bit better. And Jake probably has a similar story.
yeah, I also started as an intern last year, and I kind of heard about it through my engineering program at URI, studying ocean engineering. Some of my professors have been involved, and I applied for the internship my senior year, and got it and came out here and absolutely loved it. And actually, I was studying a little bit more, or focused more on underwater acoustics before I came out here, but I'd always been interested in underwater vehicles, and came out here and kind of changed what I wanted to do with my career. So
Wow.
I'm planning on following this career path and sticking with this awesome stuff that we're seeing right in front of us.
Yeah. The view from the Argus is really great too. Kind of got that bird's eye view of this.
I think Rennie was also an intern. He was also in the internship program.
That's true.
Yeah.
2013.
Yeah.
I was an intern.
Nautilus has a great program for bringing in young students and getting them involved and kind of training them over time.
So how how do you recommend people find out about these internship opportunities?
So they post about it on the Instagram page. I know that. And it's also on their website, which is, I think you can find it on nautiluslive.org, I think.
Yeah, I think we might be paused on interns for the next year because we've delayed, kind of deferred anyone who was accepted as an intern from this year because of COVID. We had to cancel the internship program coming out at sea. So don't think we're accepting applications this winter for next season, but after that we will be.
And each year they take a number of, depending on the length of the season, video interns, engineering interns, mapping, and navigator interns. And I think it's usually like 6 to 10 each season for each position. And so you get a lot of people involved and a lot of young students from all over the place, all over the country. It's
Yeah, thanks for sharing that.
That's a nice rotate.
Crispin Little is writing in saying the left line looks more like vertebrae. Is I think what we had been talking about.
The view from the Argus is incredible right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a push.
Can we get a zoom on that? Yeah,
wow.
that's great.
Oh, look at that plate. Oh my gosh.
If you're just tuning in right now, we happened upon a possible ancient whale fall. Oh, the Argus shot's awesome.
Incredible. You can see the DSC over there.
yeah, the DSCs.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Bring it up so you can.
Yeah.
Awesome, thanks. I can come down a little bit for the DSC. Sorry, this shot's for the digital still that we got on board here.
Yeah, it'll be better quality stills.
Yeah. Very cool.
Silly's siphonophores kind of stringing our image. Whoa.
This is incredible. I wish we could ask it its story.
We've got a comment
You
from
can go ahead and
Crispin
push
Little
back in there
saying
a bit,
the
please.
end that we're on now would be a good for rock dating sample. I'm not sure what our plan is.
Sure. You can definitely try it out. You want to push it in past the push core there, please? Jonathan, you want to push past the push core? Thank you. So you guys want to take some of the sediment sample from it, or the sedimentary rock?
We'll try and get a piece of rock, but if we could fly around the other end of the rock, and then I think we'll be able to do a 3D model.
Roger that.
See if there's any evidence of anything past that rock. I don't think there is.
Data video, if you could just tag this with a 5 on that video highlight.
I have.
Thank you.
I've done a couple 5s.
Siphonophore.
Siphonophore wants to get in the frame.
Yeah, it's a bit of a pain
Really beautiful.
to edit that out.
Wow.
Oh,
Kinda
there's the view. That could be the vertebrae.
Right next to a
Different
giant
vantage point.
sponge.
Look at that view on Argus. Incredible.
You want to push in there a bit on
Yep.
the Herc HD? Let's see, those are interesting platings. And
Yeah, that is a nice
Yeah.
Argus shot too.
The middle there.
It's beautiful. It's really lucked out with the water clarity in this region.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true from the Argus shot.
And the fact that we're so stable right now.
Yeah.
The ship is.
I know even Argus is not
a
even
little
bouncing.
wide there.
It's been rock coming wide.
That's good. Just to get a drive over this way. Different camera angles are good for 3D mosaics.
Yeah, if we get the other side of it. Good.
Except for push cores are not good for 3D mosaics.
Hmm.
Come wide there, please, on Jonathan. All right. Push cores.
Always photobombing there.
Yeah, it's always a trade-off.
Yeah.
Okay, that's wonderful. Lots of data there. I wonder if we could break a piece of this off. I can't see anywhere of the white rock that's Crispin suggesting would help us date this. Maybe right at the very end, is that?
Yeah, like at the tip here, maybe?
Rog, yeah, we can try it out.
Really is too bad Argus doesn't have a roof rack. I'm gonna zoom out a little on.
Yeah, please, that's good.
You wanna do a
What's kind of incredible is that this is its only only bit here that looks like this.
Right,
You know?
like there's no similar looking
it's
rocks
sitting right on
next
top,
by.
yeah. Wonder what must have occurred for this to be sitting right here in the way that it is.
Jake, you want to
That's a
look
good
over,
point.
or sorry, you want to look over at the manipulator, please, on bubble?
Got it. Yep.
Thank you. All right, Jonathan, go ahead and push on a bit, please. That's great. Oh, you even see more projections up here, actually.
Yeah.
Interesting. So we'll try getting maybe this type of crusting here. Would that be useful?
Yes, please. Just any little piece would be great.
Rog.
Yeah, maybe that lower one.
Yeah.
Yes, Kira, we're putting this in the compartments, not anywhere near any biology.
Should we have a new sample number for this sample?
Yes.
Yes, new sample number.
If
It's
we
pretty
can, if we can get
Yeah,
something.
If we can
I'm
get,
sure
absolutely,
that we can.
absolutely.
It's quite friable when it does come off.
Maybe we could slope up those fragments though.
Surprised it's not just pushing straight.
I can scrape, and then we can slurp the scraped
It's a mic
bits.
test. You can hear me. I can't hear you, though.
You can't hear me?
Let me try actually getting...
There's no sound.
Now there
No,
should
there
be
we go.
sound.
Sorry.
You need the green and the white.
That's what it was.
Really just comes right off.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Tougher than it looks with scrapes.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to come off in a big chunk. It wants to come off in little pieces.
Yeah.
Annoying.
Can you lever in under the flanges, Jessica? A little bit up
Yeah.
Oh, that little flat part kind of.
where
Yeah.
This part up here?
yeah.
Yeah, we can try it out.
Chip a piece off. Sorry, brittle star.
I know, that brittle star needs to start trekking along there pretty soon. Let's actually do this instead. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Got a piece.
That looks like a piece.
So we can, do these a little bit of chipping action and then slurp that up.
Sounds good.
All right, we'll just have to keep track of where all these bits are. Probably could scrape it off with a slurp.
This will be perfect for the stable isotope analysis.
Well, depending on how old it is, depends on what we need to analyze.
All right, this is like demolition robot now. It's cool.
I think that's good, Jessica. We've got plenty
Roger that.
to try and work with. Thank you.
Sure thing. Full wide there, Jonathan.
Squat lobster's like,
Mealtime.
oh, a little fish just pop out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also feeding. Looks like it.
All right, go ahead and push on in there, please.
Coming in.
We're going to aim for jar 4 on this.
Should I flush first?
Oh yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Look at those little fish.
And I'm sorry, the jar number was?
Number 4, please.
Number 4, Rog. That fish likes us.
Yeah. Got to not be a fan if it ends up in this.
Yeah, better be careful. It's getting a little too close. Good there?
I
Yeah.
think so, yeah. And 4 is a coarse mesh, or is 4 a fine mesh?
That's a coarse mesh.
Okay, did you guys want to use a coarse mesh or a fine mesh for this one?
Course will be fine. We just want the big pieces.
Roger that. Okay. I'll go for the smaller bits first and then get the big bit so it doesn't break up. Go ahead, Jake.
Great.
I think that's a blue lanternfish, a type of myctophid.
It's very shiny.
It is super shiny.
It's cool.
That shininess really camouflages it, kind of like a mirror.
Just confirming this is going to be sample NA124-108, and it's being stored in slurp jar number 4, S4.
Copy that.
Oh, there's a nice big piece.
Thanks for all the tips, Crispin. I'll let you know how things work out.
All right. So look, all of our bits that we've scraped off there.
Yeah, I think that's hopefully enough for us, Jessica.
Roger that.
Great.
Just wait for it to come through the slurp there.
Yeah.
Go wide there, Jonathan. Thank you. Change the angle of the hose.
Just gonna do a little more of a cinematic zoom in with Argus.
Sure thing.
Like a bunch of those pieces have come through.
Okay, roger that.
Come on,
Yeah, that's good. Some
All right.
nice pieces there.
Amazing. Yeah.
All right, go ahead and zero it out there, Jake.
0.
Crispin in the chat says, pretty exciting. Just goes to show you never know what you're going to find down here. Spirit of exploration.
I like you, Crispin. 2%.
All right.
And just to finish off, if we could just pan along the right-hand side, where what we now think are the ribs,
Roger that.
to get a close-up of those.
Roger.
On the outer side of the ribs, we never really got a good look at those.
Yeah.
I think the biggest pieces we got in the slope are about
Oh, there's bigger
3 or
pieces
4
there.
centimeters. Little flakes, pretty thin, but 3 to 4 centimeters across.
Jonathan, go ahead and do a partial zoom there, please.
This is so cool.
Just gonna.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see some sticking through to the bottom of the rock there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Right on
That
through.
looks like a bone.
Yeah, they're projecting through the rock.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That bristle star is kind of clinging on to that one.
Absolutely incredible.
Wow.
Truly.
I have goosebumps.
I wonder what the underside looks like. Can't flip a rock this big.
Thousands of years old.
Yeah.
Fascinating view out of Argus right now.
I still can't get over how it's just sitting here and there's nothing else around it
I
that looks
know.
like it, and it's all still stuck together.
Yeah.
It's this one piece.
Yeah.
Could we get a zoom where that bone is projecting through the matrix,
Sure thing.
right at the end?
Go ahead, Jonathan.
And just pan down a little bit. And wide a little bit.
Whoa.
Come a little wide, Jonathan.
Look at that.
And that's great.
That's good.
And now if we could get a close-up right in on the rib,
Go
just
ahead,
to see if there's any holes. It's all pretty smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very interesting. No bone-eating worms that have made their holes yet.
Oh,
Ancient
sorry.
bone.
Didn't mean to touch that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Roger, come partial wide.
Wide.
Thank you.
Do you think you could get a zoom on that lower bone that looks like it might have dropped off? Kind of the middle to the right, lower part?
You want to touch it on the teleprompter or the telestrator?
Yeah.
Oh, Raj. This down here?
Yeah.
Sure thing. All right, Jonathan, go ahead.
Wow.
Is it bone or is it rock?
I don't know.
Oh, wow, I don't know. Very tempting.
It looks pretty porous.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's good.
Sure thing. Go ahead and come a little wide. Kind of see under it a little bit better here. Oh, not a good light, though.
It looks like that on the left-hand side, there's a little piece of rib that's stuck in that piece that fell. A little black on the very lower edge of the frame.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Anything else you guys want to see here?
We'll finish up to the right, and then we can better head off and do some more biology and geology.
I still need 2 rocks. And this one's too big to take with us.
This is a perfect combination of biology and geology.
It's a good point. It's not something I will forget.
Oh.
It's a very cool find, yeah.
The DSC positioning is really good for the overhead view, even while we're...
Greg, have you looked at fossilized whale bones before for the presence of bone-eating worms?
Yes, we published a paper, this was led by Stefan Kiel, back in 2010. He got some whale bones from Washington,
You guys good with
and
that?
we did a micro CT scan of the bones, and which is an X-ray scan with high resolution. And we looked at there were cavities inside the bone that were very similar to the cavities that the modern day bone-eating worms, Osidax, makes. And so we then were able to establish that these bone-eating worms were back to 30 million years old.
Oh, are there, Jonathan?
Wow.
Coming out.
Ready to move on? Or?
Yes, please.
Okay.
That was wonderful. What a great thing to see.
Yeah, really great. Incredible.
Subsequently, Stefan published evidence of Osidax borings in things like ancient penguin bones, and then some other colleagues found them even older. So the big question about these bone-eating worms was, did they evolve around the time of when whales first appeared in the oceans, which is around 50 million years ago? Or were they older, because there have been creatures in the sea with bone for a lot longer than 50 million years? And we had estimated that Osidax could be, these bone-eating worms could be around 50 million years old, or they could be much older, depending on the kind of molecular clock we applied to the data. Trouble with molecular clocks is they're hard to calibrate as to what rate the DNA is changing. So we didn't have any really good way to validate that. So fossil evidence was always going to be the key. And then a few years ago, someone started to, Sylvia Denise and Nick Higgs looked at some plesiosaur bones that were over 100 million years old, and they found the same kind of evidence of borings in the plesiosaur bone, which suggests that these Osidax bone worms evolved well before whales appeared. Along that line, I had wanted to investigate this by putting down bones apart from mammal bones, and so we put down tuna and swordfish bones, and these bone-eating worms will go for those kind of bones as well. And so it looks like these, any bones that have been on the seafloor for potentially hundreds of millions of years have been exploited by these very strange worms that drill into the bone with, not with anything hard, they use acid to dissolve away the bone, and they have symbiotic bacteria to break down the collagen that is the main matrix of the bone.
Zombie worms, some call them.
Zombie worms, some call them indeed. So we'll be investigating that likely fossil whale, and we'll try and figure out how old it is, what it might have been, and stay tuned. We may well turn out to be a paper.
I think we should run a transect, given the...
Yeah, right now we've got our project to continue with, and so maybe a transect's a good idea, Paul?
Yeah. Roger that.
It's been 100 meters, yeah. We've got some forward momentum on the ship.
Okay.
We're going 090, whenever you're ready.
Roger.
This will be transect number 4.
All right.
Whenever you're ready, Jess.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Copy.
Stepping forward.
octocorals so far on this dive. So Jake, I'll finish that question you asked about how to deal with molecules and their synthesis. And this example of this molecule that was discovered from a marine ascidian, Actinidea turbinata. It was too complicated to synthesize in any kind of economical way, and so they really struggled with producing this compound. They tried growing the animal in aquaculture, and that was a real challenge. And it turned out that there's a big piece of the molecule that resembles a microbial natural product. So people were able to use microbes to build a big part of the molecule for them. And then they could take that and add the rest of it on using synthetic methods. And that turned out to be an economically feasible method to produce the compound for use as a pharmaceutical. So that's how they still make it today, is a combination of a natural product and synthesis. They call this semi-synthesis. But every molecule has usually a pretty complicated story associated with what's needed to get sufficient quantities to actually take it through development. It's very unusual for it to be easy enough to obtain it from nature, unless it's from a microbe that you can culture. That's one of the reasons why it's advantageous to work with microbes instead of relying on collected marine invertebrates. We view them as a renewable resource when we can grow them in the lab.
Thanks, Jake.
I'll admit a small part of me is now looking for little fossils in all these white rocks.
Actually, that's a perfect segue. Ooh. Perfect segue. We have a chat from Crispin Little, who's been following along with us with that presumed ancient whale fall that we were just taking a look at. And they wrote in that saying that they were watching earlier during the dive when we went over these large, pale, circular rocks. That's very much some of the things that we're seeing here, some of those circular white rocks. And Crispin was thinking that at the time that those did look like these exhumed concretions, and I think that fossil that we just saw might have confirmed Crispin's suspicions. And so the surrounding sediment is slightly softer and may have been eroded, which then leaves the harder concretion sitting on the surface and kind of forming that circular structure. We see much of the same type of process might happen on beaches and even on the land, so this wouldn't be surprising for it to be also occurring under the ocean, how we're seeing them. Thank you, Crispin, for writing in and giving us more detail about some of the processes that we could be observing here, or the remnants of those processes. We're not seeing it in real time. But it gives us a lot of good context for the rocks and the structures and that fossil that we were just looking at.
we saw, I think it was near Santa Barbara Island, some really incredible circular concretions, just very large, wide, flat, table-like structures. Really, really cool.
Were they larger than the ones that we've been seeing here, or same
Yeah,
size?
like Herc-sized, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Yeah. It's 2016 or 17.
Okay.
Kind of a nice rock with a little yellow sponge on it.
Yeah, those are gorgeous.
Yeah.
So for everyone out there, anyone who joined us recently, we're on the Cortez Bank, rising up, probably hit peak today at about 400 meters. We've come up from about 800 meters at the beginning of the dive. Cortez Bank is about 60 to 90 miles west of San Diego, Southern California. It's a famous place for big wave surfing, part of it, and also for scuba diving. But we're here interested to look at the geology. We're looking for metal crusts, ferromanganese crusts or phosphorites, which have been posited as a potential source for future mining. We're interested in the microbial activity that might have facilitated these crusts being formed, plus the animal life that lives on them that could be threatened if we ever went ahead with mining. So we're documenting all of those things via collections, video transects, and we're going to be archiving those and studying them at Scripps Oceanography in San Diego. Right now we're doing a transect of about 100 meters so that the biota can be quantified. And when we stop the next time, hopefully we'll be finding a rock or two to help us finish our collections for today.
So
yeah.
I just had a joke for you guys now. How did the octopus make the whale laugh?
Tentacles.
That's pretty good. Just so back row, just so you know, if we're going to be on deck at 16:30, probably off bottom around 1600.
Sorry, repeat the time again.
Off bottom around 1600 if we're going to be on deck at 16:30, just because we're a bit shallower, so it won't take us as long to ascend.
Okay, thank you. So we still have about an hour and a half of bottom time here.
Yep.
Still have a few things to do, a few slopes to make, a few rocks to pick up. Hopefully we'll find some interesting soft corals. We haven't really seen any of those today, or a few. But we're heading up on top of a little knoll, and hopefully at the top of that knoll we might see a little more water flow, and soft corals might be there.
We also have some auxiliary targets of more upcoming little local highs in bathymetry. So
Yeah, thanks, thanks, Renee. I guess we'll probably finish up on this knoll here, but we might head off over to that other one if it's not very interesting.
copy that. So once we get around here,
We'll stop and have a look around for some more rocks. We do want to collect at least one rock up here.
sure thing.
The vehicle's just covered in those long siphonophores.
Yeah, I saw the tether was too.
Yeah.
There's another octopus we're just passing over.
Oh, yeah, in between the rocks there.
Yeah,
I think that's the third orange one that we've seen today.
really cool.
Oh, I see that bit on the camera. That's gonna.
Yeah. Got a bit on the camera, a lot on the niskins. Like someone sneezed.
That's not going to be fun cleaning off.
That's the end of transect right there.
Raj. I wonder if I can shake it off.
Science, this is Devin in the lounge. Could you tell me what depth we took the push cores at today?
Yeah.
Those were all at 574 meters depth.
Correct.
All right, thanks.
Ship's still moving east.
Roger that.
A couple of those rockfish there.
That little smudge, man. Go away.
Yeah, we can actually see if we can just shake that bit off the camera there. Look at that. Ah, yes. Get off the
That's all
vehicle.
the.
Oh, it's covered.
Ugh.
Back up.
Oh, don't
Oh,
come back.
no.
Oh, no. Now it's all coming off.
Yeah, now I just got to make sure it stays off. Look at all that
Oh.
Wow.
business going on there.
I think Hercules is going to look like its own siphonophore, and it's pulled out today.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Lots
yeah.
of tentacles.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got some of it free from us.
Yeah.
Avoid cloud of siphonophore goo.
Can add that to the resume.
Deep sea siphonophore cleaning.
Yeah.
Just wanted to confirm we're still on that same transect.
Oh no, we ended that
Negative.
transect. Sorry, I don't know
we
if you.
ended it.
I got the,
Do we have the time?
yes.
Oh,
22,
22.
33, 438 meters.
I promise I would never clean
And
the vehicle when
10.6
we're
oxygen.
mid-transect.
No, I didn't think you would. We missed the end.
Sorry, I didn't. I mentioned it, but maybe not loud enough.
Ah, no worries. Oh, did you just pull that up on
Yeah, I have it up. That's the
Beautiful.
target. The time is in there as well if you need it.
2306? Awesome. Got a lot of
22:33.
beautiful. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, that's 4 transects done on this dive.
So we're still moving east. I think downstairs Aaron just noted that this ZE1 is the actual peak, but it's probably pretty flat up here in this general area. So we can head over to that direction or continue our eastward.
Yeah, that's fine. Thanks, Renee.
Sure.
We'll stop somewhere soon along
Sure.
the way. We see a coral or two.
Hi, this is Kira from the lounge. All of these platy rocks that are kind of thinner, flatter, look pretty encouraging. A lot of them are large, but that's a kind of texture that I think the phosphorites are taking on. Not the rounded, spherical ones, but more like a plate with those bubbly rounded edges. I hope that makes some sense.
Yeah,
Anything around
I think
here?
we get the message. Sort of in the foreground, the background, not the foreground, the background kind of platey stuff is what you'd be interested in. If we
Yeah.
could find a small piece of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would this one by the lasers look like a viable candidate?
This one, are you?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
could check that out.
Ship is stopped.
Yeah. Thanks, Rennie. Be full wide there, Jonathan.
Pretty
Thank
much.
you.
It's
That's
a bit,
quite large.
maybe a bit big to pick up.
Go ahead and push in there a bit, please. That's great. There's also some to the right of screen. Reg. I'm not sure that's very platey though.
Wonder if that might be big enough. Does that look okay, Kira, there? The ones where the lasers are?
Yeah, it's great if we can just pick it up. It's hard to tell when it's more covered with sediment, but yeah.
Okay, we'll try and pick something like that up.
Reg. I'll settle down right here.
Too little?
Yeah.
Go wide there, Jonathan.
It almost looks like a piece of sandstone or something between the two larger rocks.
Go ahead and push on in, please.
Coming in.
It's great. Yeah, so don't crumble it. There's also one to the right here. Maybe there's a few viable candidates. I'm going to shake it off before I show.
Maybe just rotate so we can see the underside.
Roger that.
Yeah.
Push in.
Well, that's got the phosphorite look to me, Kira,
ahead,
but I'm a
Jonathan.
naive biologist.
This is Lisa. If we shake it off, we can't do the...
We're not going to shake it, Lisa.
Thank you.
Reg.
Yeah, that looks worthwhile.
So keep it.
It's definitely solid, right, Jess? It's not like feels tight in the grips.
Feels tight in the grips. I'm on a lower grip force setting. I can increase the grip force and see if I can crunch it.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you squeeze it a little.
Reg. Stand by. All right, grip force 9 coming on.
I spy some bryozoa.
This is the full squeeze down on the trigger, and this is the hardest grip force we got. Doesn't look like it's cracking.
All right, excellent.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't see any fracture. So I'll take it.
I think it's a little small. I'd rather we have a look around here now that it looks like it's good rock to see if we can find a slightly bigger piece.
Sure thing. Come wide, please.
Kira, do you want us to keep that one anyway on the porch, or is there room to put it outside?
It might fall
Somewhere?
off during recovery if we put it on the porch.
Or we have 2 bio boxes open if Lisa wants.
No. I want to get a better rock for Lisa.
Okay.
Not that one.